A dream of 3 years has come to fruition. Always had a bit of ambition. It's written now, so take a look. Our very first children's storybook. Welcome to the world of Deefir and Pat. Hi, my name's Rosemary Morrison, and I'd like to welcome you to the dogged adventures of Deefir and Pat. It's the first book in a series called Life Lessons Learned, targeting 2 to 7-year-olds. It's an educational book, but it's a really, really fun read. And it fits well with the structure of the Northern Ireland Schools curriculum element, which is learning for life and work, which includes things like personal development, citizenship, and looking at the world around us. So, how did we get started? We started with a Kickstarter campaign, which was successful last November, and we had nearly 300 supporters who have now got their printed book. And in addition to that, we were able, through the generosity of our supporters, to donate 120 books to libraries in Northern Ireland. So we're absolutely thrilled about that. We also are in 12 outlets now in Northern Ireland, including Eason's, and we have plans to develop the website. It is up there, but it's going to be much, much better. And we have designed and developed our social media platforms, which again will be expanded over the coming months. The book's available on ebook too. So this is how we got started with the business model canvas, and I'm going to sort of talk and walk through that. It's up behind me here, but I know it's very tiny and you can't really see it. So I'm going to take you through it sort of one stage at a time. So I'm going to glance at my notes too, but bear with me. And glasses on, of course. So first of all, we have our customer segments. Now, our customer segments where, our customers, the consumers and the customers, of course, being different. The consumers are 2 to 6-year-olds. The customers are parents, guardians, friends of 2 to 6-year-olds, and obviously educators as well. So those are our main customer segments. In addition, we have public organisations such as the library. In this particular instance, we donated the books. We were able to, as I say, through the Kickstarter campaign, donate those books. So those are our main customer segments. And we hope to obviously target nursery schools, preschool as well. Our value proposition, it's just an enhanced customer experience on behalf of the kids, actually, and the parents. We've had lots of people who've said that the parents have enjoyed reading the book to the children and actually don't get fed up with it, which is fantastic. They like the humour in it. So we have an enhanced experience. It's fun learning. It's early learning, so it's introduced in part of the school's curriculum in a really, really fun way. As I say, there's that link to the learning and life curriculum. And it's teaching children, more importantly, life skills. So things like citizenship, personal development, friendship, teaching them those sorts of lessons. All of the stories, beautifully illustrated, have got a moral behind them, but it's very much an educational link. It's not just another story. Okay, so from the value proposition, we go to customer relationships. Customer relationships need to be built with the book retailers, the wholesalers, distributors, with parents and teachers as well, because obviously they're massive influencers in children's lives, so we need to build relationships there too, and we're doing that through social media platforms and so on. Also, the relationships built with libraries. We've already read story time at one of the Northern Ireland libraries, and I hope to do so many more of those. So that's very exciting. Customer relationships we've done. So we go on to key partners. So our key partners, one of the main partners really is the illustrator. This is our third illustrator that we've got, and we're absolutely thrilled with David Smith, who's the illustrator for the book. And he has captured not only sort of the beach scenes, the book's called The Day at the Beach. He's not only sort of captured the beach scenes with lots of things to view and look at. You can see a cheeky chappie in that clamshell. But as well as that, he's captured the essence of, Northern Ireland countryside, but also he's captured the countryside too. So as I say, the books are about nature, friendship, the world that we live in. going to show you one of the beautiful countryside pictures, if I can get to that. So this is Deefir jumping over the wall to find his pal, and they're very naughty and they escape from the garden. So our illustrator is obviously very important to us. We also have our web designer, we have book distributors, we have proofreaders and formatting and design experts, and a relationship with the printers as well. We decided to go the vanity publishing route. It's called self-publishing rather than with a printer. We went with a printer rather than a publisher because the publisher might have taken a long time to decide whether or not they wanted to look at the book, how they were going to change the book, and so on. That might be a future prospect, but at the moment the first book is self-published. We have also to form a relationship with social media marketers because I haven't got the time to do it all myself. And actually I did use a couple of great girls, Alison and Madeline, for the Kickstarter campaign. So we'll be continuing to do that. In terms of key activities, which is this section, as you'll know if you're doing this as your course, the important sort of stages of key activities were character and story development. So we did that early days, and they've taken a couple of tweaks, of course, to get right, but we think we've got there now. And we have web and social media platform development, and obviously we had to do market research to look at what parents and children were interested in and to get an initial feedback on what people thought of the book, which were obviously results we were delighted with. We've got to build relationships with retailers as well. In terms of key resources, we needed access to finance, hence the Kickstarter campaign. It was absolutely necessary. We needed to raise £6,000 to get started. That covered illustration costs, it covered printing costs, and a few other bits and pieces, ISBN and so on, that you require for a book. So access to finance was important, and that's why Kickstarter started. Then we needed obviously to source illustrators, website developers, a key resource as well, book design expert that would proof the book and get it to print. So we've done our customer segments, we have done our value proposition, done our customer relationships, we've done our key partners and our key activities and key resources. So this takes us to cost structure. So one of the most important things in terms of costs to me personally, I co-authored the book with my husband Gordon. I'm actually a management consultant by trade. That's what I do day and daily. And opportunity cost was a big factor in this that had to be considered, especially actually November, December. November was the Kickstarter campaign. It took a lot of effort and energy to get that off the ground and to be successful, which was great. As well as that, we have sort of in terms of the costs, those illustration costs, which are not insignificant, printing costs, and we now have got to look at distribution costs on a percentage basis. We have been doing distribution ourselves, but obviously on a larger scale we need distributors. I mean, I can't be running to Cork to deliver 10 books, and the cost of postage and delivery is fairly hefty as well. So we're really looking for a distributor, not only distribute but actually promote the books as well. Okay, so we've got to obviously look at the cost structure as well in terms of discount to retailers, and that seems to vary considerably as well. Okay, last but not least, this is the important part, how we bring the money in. So in terms of revenue streams, well, we go back to Kickstarter. We raised over £6,000 in a Kickstarter campaign in November. You can still find it on Kickstarter, Deefir and Pat, and watch the video. I'd love you to do that. We have obviously direct sales. Friends and family would come to us. We have 12 outlets at the moment, retailers. We have opportunities to do fairs, book fairs, that kind of thing. And I did a story time with a couple of colleagues and we sold some books there too. So the next step will be, excuse me, sales via retailers. And if we do decide to go later on with a publisher, if we get picked up by a publisher, that would be royalty-based sales. So that's an option as well. So that's about it. That's about wraps up my 10 minutes. Find out more on at deefirandpat.com, or I'd love a like on Facebook. Just look for Deefir and Pat. Thank you.